All right. Okay, let's do it. All y'all whack like your outfit. What's up, everybody? Welcome to Spike Kool-Aid Friday edition, a special Friday edition due to the fact that I could not get on Monday, had to take my kid to the orthodontist. So we're going to have a special Spike Kool-Aid show today. Man, we got a couple things to talk about. What's up, Lions Mania? We got a couple things to talk about. Thursday Night Football. What did the NFL do? How has Amazon killed Thursday Night Football? Also, we got to talk about quarterbacks because that's what we're talking about. We got to talk about DeAndre Swift and what a Bears website had to say about the Detroit Lions versus Chicago Bears. Listen, I say this, bro. I don't think that if you have Detroit Lions YouTubers that are biased, I think it's biased in a way where, like, I think most of them are not biased. And if we're biased, we're kind of like negatively biased. I don't see a lot of Kool-Aid guzzling YouTube content creators. But these Bears, man, I'm telling you, your team can beat every single team. And I really don't understand it. Let me pop out this chat real quick. We also got to talk about something that I've been noticing, man. And I'm kind of torn right now. I'm kind of torn because sometimes, if you sit in a booth, right? So I think I told you guys this on a previous show. I found out that if you sit in a booth, you remember seeing Dan Miller, right? When the Lions win, they put up his calls, his highlights, okay? And if you watch Dan Miller's highlights, it's a 3-minute segment. I need to fix this bit rate, man. All right, so if you watch his segment, there are some gentlemen sitting in front of where Dan Miller and Lomas Brown and stuff is at. And they don't react. And I was like, what kind of fans are these? What kind of fans are these? Then I realized, I said, these aren't fans. These are media people. Did not react in any facet because you can't react in the press box at all. So my thing is this, and we're going to talk about it, bro. So why did I bring all that up? I brought that up because as a fan, it's tough. It's tough to be, we're emotionally invested in this team. We are. That's why y'all come to this show every day. That's why we talk about the Lions every day. That's why we're so hurt when they lose and ecstatic when they win. That's why it can make a difference between, a rough week and a beautiful week. Like last week was absolutely beautiful. This week, from Monday, hearing Aaron Rodgers complain and squirm and whine, right? Hearing that stuff, not hearing all the Lions lost another game. I even heard that SOL, if the Lions win against the Bears, is it SOL? What are you talking about? Winning, period, is not anything to do with SOL. I'm telling you, Lions fans don't know what they want. And the reason I brought all that up is because I'm kind of torn. I'm kind of torn, but I'm going to let y'all know why. All right, so as a Lions content creator, I feel like I have a certain responsibility to bridge the gap between fan and analyst, right? And when I tell y'all stuff, it's because I believe in what I'm telling you, right? So I came up with the Lions having a 9-8 record, okay? 9-8 record. And my this is what I said, okay? I said if the Lions go 9-8, then they can make the playoffs. I didn't predict how abysmal the NFC would be this year. But I also said after they lost 5 in a row, I think it was at .3, game 3, I said, I'm not going to pick the Lions to win until they get to 500. And that was just frustration and emotion. And publicly, I have not picked the Lions. I've said to you guys, I think the Lions are going to win this Sunday. But I have not publicly picked the Lions to win. See, thinking they win and picking them to win is two different things, right? Because one commits you to the pick, right? So if you are a betting individual, I'm not, right? You have to put your money down, and when you put that money down, you commit to that, right? Me, my emotion got the best of me. What I should have done is this. I should have stuck with what I said. I said at this point in the season that the Detroit Lions would be 2-6, and they are. They are. I had them losing against Green Bay. I had them winning against Seattle. Well, it went differently. And here I find this very, very funny to me. And I know that it's content and it's stuff that we talk about, right? But what I find funny is out of a lot of content creators that were around in the spring months, the draft and stuff like that, even when the schedule released, nobody, okay, that I can recall was talking about playoffs, right? And in some spaces, you would get completely annihilated for even mentioning the P word, all right? But I'm not one of them. I'm not one of them content creators. I'm going to stick by what I say. So part of me feels bad because I picked the Lions to win said games, and I should have just stuck with that. Because if I put it out there, I should have stuck with it, win or lose. This is what I picked. Too much wishy-washiness going on with the fan base. But I have seen all of a sudden, because the reality is that we told you guys yesterday, the reality is that the Lions are 2.5 games out of the wild card. That is the reality. And that's all I was saying, is what the reality of the record was, right? But I find it totally kind of, it's ironic that people are mentioning the word playoffs when nobody was saying the word playoffs. Let me tell you this. The Detroit Lions at this moment need a ton of help. Again, our fate is not our own. We need a ton of help. But I tell you what, this is the year that we're going to get it. This is the year that we're going to get it. Lions says, the Lions really can't lose this game grid if we talking possible playoffs. See, Lions, I agree, but I disagree, right? Because the math says they can lose this game. It's worse if they do, but that's what the math says. And I'm only going by the math. When the Lions are officially mathematically eliminated, I stop talking about the math, right? Last year, I made week, whatever it was, the Lions had one win. They were 1-10-1. And they still had a chance to make the playoffs. But we talked about that last week as well. But Lions, that's why I talk about it. I talk about it because the number says yes. The defense might say no. But that was defense weeks 1 through whatever, right? We all can agree that last week's defense, although, this is the thing that kind of really, what we've been talking about, right? We have been saying since the Minnesota Vikings game, when Dan Campbell gave that game away, that the Lions were one stop away from winning. Now follow me here, all right? And this is why I can't leave the season, because the season is very much alive. We've been saying since the Minnesota Vikings game that the Lions defense was one stop away, and they got that one stop on Sunday. Could you imagine one more stop if they stop Rashard Penny on 3rd down? One more stop. If they stop Kirk Cousins and KJ Osborne. One stop. One stop was the difference between a win and a loss. We can talk about Aaron Rodgers and how they lost the game instead of we beating them. But at the end of the day, we made one better play than them. That is the bottom line. So, bringing that back to the topic at hand. It's funny to me that people are talking about playoffs when I've been talking about it. I'm a live or die by it. I'm only going by the math. And don't let the Lions win on Sunday. Just a win. You understand what I'm saying? Just a win changes the whole trajectory of this season. It's 3 wins and 6 losses. The entire trajectory is changed. The Atlanta Falcons lost last night. They are 4-6. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers are 4-5, and they lead the NFC South. Listen to what I'm saying, y'all. The Carolina Panthers beat the Atlanta Falcons, dropped them to 4-6. Lions beat the Bears. And this all falls on the Lions. They have to do what they're supposed to do. If the Lions beat the Bears, they're 3-6. The Atlanta Falcons, 4-6. If the Arizona Cardinals lose, 3-7. If the LA Rams lose, 3-6. The same record as our Detroit Lions. Motivated says NFC as a conference is pathetic. Motivated, NFC is the East in the NBA. NBA, you could be the bummiest team and make the 8th seed. The 8th seed in the West would be the 11th seed or 12th, would be out of the playoffs. Happens all the time. Nick says, I thought they would be 2-6 at this point. I had them going 8-9, but missing the playoffs. Hey, Nick, if that happens, guess what? I'm gonna say they made the playoffs mentally because I'm going to put that on Dan Campbell. I'm going to put them 2 losses on Dan Campbell. We should be 10-7. If we go 8 whatever we go, right? Whatever we have our final record is to end the season, I'm going to add 2 to that. I'm going to add 2 to that because Dan Campbell lost us 2 games. He admitted that himself. Lions Mania says they won't make the playoffs, highly likely, but they win games that people don't predict them to win. Then maybe possibly we have something. They have to do the unexpected to make the playoffs. Lions, bro, and we'll wrap this segment up. All they have to do is win. The NFC is absolutely pathetic. And they, more importantly, they need to win inside their division. Trust me, bro. If the Lions will make the playoffs at 9-8, there will be most likely a 500 team, under 500 team that makes the playoffs. I'm just saying. So it's funny to me. Like, I've always been like this, y'all. This is not my thing is all out. Just like I picked the Lions schedule based on strength of schedule, right? But look at what's happening out here in the NFL. It's ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. So let me know, do you find it ironic that although the Lions are 2-6, do you find it ironic that people are starting to throw out the P word, playoffs? What's up, everybody in the chat? What's going on, man? What's up, man, bro? Who's your gaddy? That junk is hilarious. It has been that for us too. Our defense closing out games. If it can happen, just we're a 500 team. Hey, listen, I'm gonna go further, gaddy. If Dan Campbell calls 2 better games, we're 4-4, right? If the defense makes 2 stops, we're 6-2. Think about it like that. What's up, PG? What's going on? Nick says 8-9 might be good enough to make the playoffs. If, you know what, Nick? Here's the thing. You are right about that. You are 100% right. You are 100% right. I'm going to tell you what. The month of November is going to be huge. It's going to be huge. Will the Lions be playing meaningful football in December? You might be like, what are you talking about? Oh, whoosh. What are we talking about, meaningful football? 100%. Okay? The Lions have the Chicago Bears. Now, I don't have to say this, and I'm not going to say it anymore because this goes without saying. You have to win games. So they have to do their part. They have to win games. And the Chicago Bears is a very winnable game. It was said today, Dan Campbell's press conference, contain Justin Fields. That's the key. They got to worry about Chase Claypool. They didn't have to worry about him 2 weeks ago. They do now. Contain Justin Fields. You can win the game. What's up, David? Motivated T says Bears is a must-win game. Bro, listen. I don't want to get ahead of myself because we still got 48 hours before we're watching this game. But I'm just saying to myself, man, if the Lions win this game, this is giant. This is giant. Speaking of Giants, we got to go play the Giants next week. But if they win this game, I'm telling you, you're going to hear the P word a whole lot more the next week. I'm telling you, the NFC is a turd burger. Justin Fields has more rushing yards than Jamal. He sure does. He is their rushing leader. Put up a $178. A $178 on Sunday. A $178. Speaking of the Bears, let me tell y'all something. And this is what I was talking about the beginning of, and when I mentioned something at the beginning of this stream. Giants will be a tough game for sure. That's facts. And it's at MetLife Stadium. So I think the Giants and the Jets are both going to be tough. But I'm telling you what, the Lions have the Bears. Their November is the Bears, the Giants, and the Buffalo Bills. Check this out. They open up December with 2 home games. The Lions have 4 home games left. They end November with the home game. They have a 10-day break. They start December with 2 home games. Then they go off on the road, come back, I think for a couple, come back, and their last home game is against the Chicago Bears at home. And you never know. But meaningful football in December, 100% possible. Okay? Now, let me see something. I had, my prediction was, for the month of November, was I had us losing to the Packers. I had us beating the Bears. I had us beating the Giants, and I had us losing to the Buffalo Bills. That was our November. So our November, listen, according to my schedule, in which we went 9-8, we go 2-2 in the month of November. Don't forget, in January, there are 2 games. The last 2 games of the season are in January. So in the month of November, what's up, Von D? I had the Lions going 2-2, and so far they're 1-0. Well, how about that? Lions Mania says Jaguars may even be tough. They play better than people think. They destroyed the Chargers at their home stadium. Lions Mania, that's facts, but then they got destroyed. The Chargers, I think, you know what? I think the Jaguars are exactly who we thought they were. I'm going to be real. They came out the gate, was what, 2-1? Something like that. It was crazy. And now they're right up there, 2-6, falling apart. I don't think they're a dub, like an easy dub, but I think we can beat them 100%, especially if we clicking on all cylinders. So let's do this, because it's a couple of things I want to talk about today, and then we'll talk about something else. Exactly, Jags ain't doing nothing. Yeah, they started, and you ain't heard Trayvon Walker's name really since the start of the season. Shout out to Aiden Hutchinson, man, doing what he's supposed to. So I saw this I was Googling Detroit Lions like I do every day, see what's popping, see what's out in them internet streets. And I see this here. This is coming from Bears Wire. Everybody has a wire, Lions Wire, Bears Wire, etc., right? 5 bold predictions for Bears versus Lions. Now, I was talking about at the beginning of this show about bias and how I don't think that Detroit Lions fans, analysts, are biased at all. We've been burnt so many times. We've been messed over so many times that if we're biased, we're negatively biased, like the SOL, Carlos Monarez, super biased. You would think that the Ford organization did something to this man personally, because he does not write anything. For every 20 negative articles about the Detroit Lions, there's 1 positive. Okay, and it's usually sarcasm involved, right? But this comes from a Bears Wire, 5 bold predictions for Bears versus Lions, okay? And I want you guys to tell me, as we go through here, there are 5. Now, mind you, they're bold, so that means they're kind of out there, but I feel like it was super disrespectful. Very disrespectful. But you tell me, how bold do you think these predictions are? 5 bold predictions with Lions versus Bears. Bold prediction number 1. The Bears dropped 40 points on the Lions. Now, I'm not going to go into explanations about why he did all this. But as I'm reading this thing, okay, nothing skews our way. Now, I understand this is a Bears channel. I get that. But nothing skews our way. Bruh, y'all 3-6. We're literally a game behind you. So, bold prediction number 1, the Bears dropped 40 points on the Lions. Only team that scored 40 was the Seattle Seahawks, and we scored 45. Bold prediction number 2, the Bears will have 2 players with over 100 rushing yards. I'm assuming a running back in Justin Fields. They had 3 100-yard rushers this season. 3 different what? See, this is okay. So they had all year long, they've had 3 100-yard rushers this season. And he says that they're going to have 2 against us. Now, that's disrespectful. Number 3, David Montgomery scores a touchdown. That's easy. He's a running back. That's what he should be doing. Number 4, Chase Claypool leads the Bears in receiving yards. I don't think that's all that bold. He's a receiver. He should be. And number 5, Jared Goff throws multiple interceptions. Now, I'm going to just put it out here. I think the first 2 are ridiculous. The second 2, they should happen. And I think number 5, they just picking on our quarterback. Jared Goff has had a few games this season where he's thrown multiple interceptions. And we have seen the bad Jared Goff. We've seen the negative Jared Goff. I think that this is completely biased. I think when you get a Bears fan or a Bears analyst, I think most analysts are completely biased toward their teams, but I don't think personally that we are. I don't think that's the case. So let me know in the comments below, how many of those 5 bold predictions do you believe will happen? And when you're putting this in the comments, you can do it like this. 1 through 5. Number 1, Bears drop 40 points on the Lions. Put up 1. Number 2, Bears have 2 players with over 100 yards. Put a 2. Or 1 and 2. Whichever 2, if you want all 5, put all 5. Number 3, David Montgomery scores a touchdown. Number 4, Chase Claypool leads the Bears in receiving yards. Number 5, Jared Goff throws multiple interceptions. Let me know down below. All right, what's up, Judah? Listen, man, I had to time you out, bro, because I was recording a segment, and I know you are a troublemaker. So I had to put you on timeout, man, while I could focus on my segment before I get all distracted. Judah, before I timed him out, said all of those things are true. Wait, he said all of those things are true, and then he said Bears in a rout. I had to put him in timeout, man, because I couldn't focus with him up in here. Quentin says we need Young, plain and simple. Quentin, don't do this to me, bro. No, don't ban Judah. Judah is he cool. He just is the ultimate Bears. He is an ultimate troll, but he doesn't bother me. He was gonna throw me off my segment, and I was recording that. So whenever I'm talking and I don't really address y'all comments, I'm doing a segment, and if your comment is about the segment, then I'll bring it in. No, just let Judah is best unfed. Don't feed him. He's cool though. He doesn't bother me. I was losing focus. No, it's good segment. He doesn't bother me. Quentin says 2-5. I didn't see he had to step out for a second. So listen, we gotta. This is where I'm at. Okay, now I want to ask y'all a question. I gotta ask y'all a question. It's just kind of funny that people we're all kind of talking about the same thing, and I think that we must have a similar mind. The Lions are 2-6. The Bears are 3-6. That is correct. That is correct. The Bears have played one more game. They have not had their bye week yet. So we had ours in week 6. So that's why that is the case. How does it feel being a winner going into the weekend? Segment, it feels fantastic, bro. And we were talking about that in yesterday's show. How people, why do they want to lose? You have to believe that losing. If you want to lose, that is a loser's mentality. Who is excited? They used to make fun of Andrew Luck because he used to commend the people for sacking him, right? On Bleacher Report and Gridiron, what is it? The Bleacher Report show, Gridiron Heights. Because he was, so they used to tease him and make fun of him, right? Winning is cool. Winning is cool. Winning is what you're supposed to do. So I don't understand why people enjoy losing at all. It makes no sense to me. And to me, it's just indicative of your mentality. If you are a loser, you're going to have a loser's mentality. Have you guys ever been and seen a motivational speaker? Have you listened to Eric Thomas or any motivational speaker? None of them would tell you to lose. None of them would tell you that losing equals winning. Every one of them would tell you that if you lose, if you want to lose, you have a loser's mentality and you will lose in life, right? I can't believe that there is a subject today and all over the internet about should you be upset the Lions won? I'm telling you, my brain right now, my wife is at work and I'm trying not to explode because these are the segments that get me, shout out to segment, these are the segments that get my blood boiling. We were just ready to fire everybody. Here's a true statement, all right? Y'all not gonna like this. I'm about to blow your mind. So incoming cue explosion sound effect. Because I'm about to blow your mind right now. And I'm gonna be preaching here. I'm about to blow your mind, okay? Lions fans, we don't know what we want. We don't know what we want. We wanted everybody fired 3 weeks ago. And then our team wins and we're complaining. Because why? We missed out on Bryce Young. It is Brad Holmes' job to pick the right people where he is. I'm going to say it again. It is Brad Holmes' responsibility to make this team a winner and pick where he's supposed to pick. If he picks to make the most with his picks. We went over this already. Lions fans, we don't know how to win. So when we win, well, golly, we don't know how to feel. What do you mean we won? Why? I wanted Bryce Young. What do you mean we won? I wanted Will Anderson. We have to win. We don't know what winning feels like. So therefore, when we do, the Lions fan base is confused. That is dumb to me. That is dumb to me. 14 years ago, this team went 0-17. We got Matthew Stafford. 16 years ago, 15, this team went whatever it was, 2-14, whatever, with the second pick in the 2007 NFL Draft. The Detroit Lions select Calvin Johnson, Georgia Tech. And 15 years later, we're still talking about losing. We are better than this, y'all. We are better. We would kill. I would absolutely love not to hear the word draft in week 4. I would absolutely love to hear in the hunt in week 8 or 9 or 10. We have to change our mentality. Lions fans need to change their mentality. If you want the team to change, you need to change. Rocky said it the best. If I can change, you can change. Everybody can change. I will say this, and I'm about to step out of football real quick. Today, we lost somebody that I grew up watching. And those of you who don't know, I am a giant Batman fan. Batman is my favorite superhero. He goes through, right? His identity is concealed, and he takes no credit. Puts his life out there. Now he's a fictional character. I know this. But it's what he stands for. He is my favorite super. Always has been. But today, the voice of Batman from 1992's Batman the Animated Series passed away of cancer. He was 66. Kevin Conroy. You might be like, who is Kevin Conroy? Not Carolina kid. He's young and he knows. Kevin Conroy was the voice of Batman, 1992's Batman the Animated Series. He was Batman in all 3 Arkham games, except Origins, when they did a young Batman. He was, if you have Michael Keaton, Adam West, and Kevin Conroy, they all set the bar. Died today at the age of 66 of cancer. And, yeah. Grew up watching Batman the Animated Series. I remember because when Michael Keaton came out, I had just turned 10. And I'm a teenager when the animated series is coming. And I remember seeing that cartoon and saying, man, this is dark, bro. But I love it. They finally came out with a box set. And I went and bought it a couple years ago. And I have it. Got all the, came with a little Batman pop, Funko Pop or whatever. But yeah, man, woke up to Kevin Conroy passed away. He actually died yesterday. But somehow they kept it out of the media until this morning. Which is, in today's world, you can't do that. TMZ will leak whatever. They will leak whenever. So Kevin Conroy, man, passed away. And for a lot of us who are 30s, 40s, we remember him as the Batman. Yep. So anyway, tough loss today, man. But if Lions fans, if we want our team to win, right? We have to have a winner's mentality. We have to do that. And speaking of winning, one thing that we know, right, is a healthy team makes a difference. Healthy Josh Reynolds, who probably is a scratch. Healthy DJ Chark, whoever it was. The more healthy our players are, the more of a chance we have to win. And there's a particular player that has a hard time staying healthy. His name is DeAndre Swift. We all want to love him. We all want to see this young man succeed. Early second-round pick in 2020. Came out of Georgia, didn't have a ton of carries. And as far as I remember, has not completed a regular season. He has not played every game. That's tough for a running back to do, so I'll give him that. I will give him that. That is very tough to do, but it needs to. You have to be available. And shout out to Mr. Poole because he sent me this yesterday. And Lions Report from Fansided says that DeAndre Swift was not happy with Week 9 usage. He had his workload reduced. He had 50 total yards on 5 touches. DeAndre Swift played 10 snaps. Now, this is coming from Nolan Bianchi, and this was from the 6th. So this is the day of the game. Day of the game. He says, from what I can see up in the press box, it appears that DeAndre Swift keeps trying to get back in the game, but for whatever reason, they're just not letting him. Looked amped to get in there on red zone, then was sent back to the sideline. That is very telling to me. Now, this comes from Dave Burkett. And I'm guessing this came from Ben Johnson, the offensive coordinator. He says, I think he got peed off a little bit. He caught a 3rd down and was just a little bit short, and we took him out. But that's good. That's good. That means he's going in the right direction for us. So we talked about this 2 days ago. Were the Detroit Lions babying DeAndre Swift? And according to Dave Burkett and this information, the answer is yes. The answer is yes. Now, DeAndre Swift was the guy that I thought we maybe could trade before the trade deadline. But instead, we went with TJ Hockenson. DeAndre Swift was dynamic before he got injured in that Minnesota game. He was leading. They said that he was going to have the most rushing yards. The love that DeAndre Swift was getting in year 3 at the beginning before he got hurt was fantastic. It was insane. But then he gets hurt and he goes down. He's out for a game. I think it was 2 games, right? Him and Amon-Ra got hurt the same game. He's out. Then he comes back limited. And now they are easing this guy in. As a NFL player, I can understand that he is frustrated. Because DeAndre Swift, these NFL players, they hear this stuff. They hear this. There are people that turn off they log out of the social media. They delete it entirely. They stay off of it because of cats like us and cats with an actual voice that he can hear, right? ESPN, NFL Network critiquing his every move. So DeAndre Swift has apparently been eased back into the role. So my thing is, when are they going to let this guy free? Because my thought is this. We see what he had. He had 10 snaps, 5 touches, and 50 yards. Now, here's what I thought. I thought when he caught that pass and he was about a half yard short, I said, in a typical situation, they're going to give that guy a second chance to get that touchdown, whether it's Jamal Williams, a receiver, whoever it is, but especially a running back. If he's tackled right before the line, we're going to go right there, and we're going to go right back to him. We're going to give him this opportunity to get this touchdown. But they did the opposite with DeAndre Swift. They pulled him out. So is that saying that he's too fragile? Are they putting the bubble wrap around him? And to me, guys, you just can't do that. If you're in the NFL, and Quentin says we need a Derrick Henry type RB. Have you seen Derrick Henry's workout routine in the offseason? I'm not saying DeAndre Swift doesn't do that. Have you seen Derrick Henry's workout routine? Every time we have a bunch of injuries, we want to fire the strength and conditioning coach. Maybe that does have something to do with it, because Derrick Henry's workout routine is insane, ridiculous. And when he gets running, he's hard to bring down. I tell you what, we didn't really know when DeAndre Swift came out of college which direction it was going to go in. Like, Kerryon Johnson had a truckload of carries, and we were worried about him being able to sustain that in the NFL. He kept getting hurt too. So DeAndre Swift, though, the plus about him was the fact that he didn't have that many carries. If I'm not mistaken, it was just over 400 and something in his career at Georgia. And when he came out, we was like, okay, that's either going to be a gift or a curse. And I don't know. In the comment section and in the chat, let me know. What do you think? DeAndre's lighter workload in college, do you think it was a gift? Do you think it hurt him or helped his career? That is a really good question. All right, let me see. Judah's back in here. Judah said, am I finally in the timeout? My God. Terrible sitting in the dungeon with the toilet fans. Lions fans don't want to win. They love being miserable. Olive Branch sent to become a Bears fan. Hey, to some extent, Judah, I believe you. 100%. That's what I was just preaching about before you came back in here. That we don't want to, we don't know how to win, so therefore we don't know how to act when we do. So Quentin says hurt. You think it hurt him. Yeah. I think you could be right. 100%. All right, let me see how long we've been on. Man, 38 minutes. These things be going fast, bro. These things be going fast. So just a little NFL update. Man, Dan Snyder, he's not going down without a fight. This guy refuses. He is going to be somebody's bane. We were joking about it yesterday that Roger Goodell is going to put a hit out on him. There are currently 3 lawsuits active in the NFL, or 2, and then a third one coming. And listen, I forgot to tell you this. Kirby Joseph is a go. Hold on. Let me see. All right. Kirby Joseph is a go. Remember we talked about Jeff Okudah laying people out, and he was on the receiving end of Jeff Okudah's shoulder pad and was in concussion protocol, right? he is a go for Sunday, which is fantastic. Absolutely fantastic, because we are going to need him. We need all the help we can get. All the help we can get. So that's fantastic news. But the NFL, man, is, and I wonder, like, if that's why it's so questionable. Said Rodrigo is questionable. All right, so let's do this. We already did the prediction yesterday, but let's look at the injury list real quick. But while we're doing that, let me see, what is this? Oh, okay, look, this is from 16 hours ago, and I just talked about this. Am I insane? I am insane and must. This comes from Mike Mike Payton's Twitter. Says, I am insane and must be stopped. The Lions' first 8 opponents were a combined 45-24. The rest of the slate is 39-39, and it's chock full of the teams that nobody truly believes in, like the Giants. I can attest to that. The Jets and the Vikings. The 7th seed is 4-4. The Lions could do it. I'm crazy. I am not. I'm not crazy. I'm just speaking facts. All right, so the injury report is, let me see, and then we'll do our little NFL segment, because I don't think hopefully we haven't lost any big names as far as injury. We just found out Kirby Joseph, and the injury report has to be finalized in the next hour. So let's see what we're going to find out. Where is it at, team? Okay, injury report. Okay. So this is this is for the team. I need the one from ESPN. That's the one we're looking for, because that tells you what's actually happening. But we got a pretty decent segment, man, coming up that I think is going to be decent, because we gotta answer. We gotta have this question answered, man. Okay, wow. Raiders linebacker Martinez. Is that Blake? Blake Martinez retired from the NFL. That happened yesterday. I did not know that. I know he was cut by the Giants and he retired. Wow. A lot of linebackers retiring, man. Okay, let me see. NFL, we'll go to scores, and we will go to the game cast for the Detroit Lions and see what's going on. Injury report. Let's do full report. Listen, I think we can win this game, man. No Robert Quinn. And I didn't know Robert Quinn's hairline, bro, was that bad. And no Roquan Smith. I wish we could have got him, though. All right, so the Detroit Lions, as of 3 o'clock Friday, injury report is Josh Reynolds is questionable. I don't think he's playing. I think that's why we got Trinity Benson. DeAndre Swift, he's been questionable since week 4. Kirby Joseph is also questionable. Malcolm Rodriguez, questionable, as Nick stated earlier. Craig Reynolds, injured reserve, broke his ribs, so he's going to be out the rest of the month. But DJ Chark should be coming off next week. Matt Nelson is questionable. A.J. Parker, Chase Lucas, and Ife Melifonwu are questionable. And then the people that we already know that are out. Okay, Vaitai. Somebody asked about Vaitai. I think Vaitai's done. They're going to have to put him on. I think they're going to put him out for the season. I don't see him coming back. He's on injured reserve, but I think they're going to have to put him up for the season. That's what I think. The last update on Jamison Williams was 2 weeks ago. I think they're going to have to put him up for the season. All right, so listen. I need y'all to do this for me. Ghost of Judah Tribe, this is what he does. You will spend the entire show battling with this guy. So you can either battle with him or you can kick it with me. This is what he does. So y'all got to he's been around for a long time, man. Back in 2019, when I was a young boy in this, I didn't know what to expect. But he's been around for a while. He cool dude, but this is what he does. He will gas us up. He will gas us up. So you gotta just not pay him any attention. What's up, D Reese? You always coming in at the end, bro. So let's do this, man. Let's have our final segment of the day, and we will be back on Monday. Hopefully, we're talking about a Lions win because we need it. We need it big time. Big V won't be here next year. Yeah, he's one of the people that we can cut and save some money. I will say this, and this guy's name keeps coming up, but I don't want to keep talking about this because to me it's like a broken record. But I am under this is what I think is going to happen this year, okay? And I would be okay with that. So let me know in the comments below. Let's do this. We might, because we got a little bit of time. So let's have one more segment. This segment here is going to kind of grind everyone's gears. So be prepared, because I know that this man's name brings disdain for a lot of Lions fans. Something that I have not seen ever. But we got to talk about it. We got to talk about it. Jared Goff is the current quarterback of the Detroit Lions. If the Lions cut him, they're going to save a bunch of money. He is one of the people, along with Big V and a couple other people, if they are cut, the Lions will have $65 million to enter free agency. Jared Goff would have to be a post-June 1st designation, very similar to how Trey Flowers was last year, or going into this season, this offseason. So I have a question for y'all. We talked about it yesterday. You have to pick one, right? You cannot, I don't want anything but one. You have to pick one. If the Lions continue winning, your hopes of Bryce Young, CJ Stroud, if you wanted him, and possibly even Will Levis. I mean, Hendon Hooker's out there too. But if you wanted Bryce Young, because that's what this is about. If you wanted a top 5 quarterback, we can't win any more games, right? If we win any more games, we're going to pick outside the top 10. I mean, who knows? We could have a better record than the LA Rams, and wouldn't that be something? Wouldn't that be something, right? But you have to make a choice. You have to choose. You have to choose. Would you prefer, and this is why I brought up Jared Goff's name. Jared Goff is on the books for 2 more years. 2 more years. No Detroit Lions fan, if you ask, they can't stand Jared Goff. I mean, they hate this man. He does lead the league, the NFL, in turnover since 2019. That is fact. But Jared Goff is hated. He is hated in the Lions community. I have seen more hate for Jared Goff in a year and a half that he's been here than Matthew Stafford ever got before the Super Bowl. So the question that I have for you is, we keep winning games. Jared Goff is on the books for 2 more years. We keep winning games. We pick, I don't know. Let me see. If you make the playoffs, you're picking, what, 18, 19, somewhere around there. If you're the first team eliminated, you start picking right around there. Let's say the Lions are 8-9, and they pick 13. We now miss out on Bryce Young. We now miss out on CJ Stroud if you wanted him. Maybe even Will Levis. I don't know. Do we still take a quarterback? So the question is, if the Lions don't pick in the top 10, do you want a quarterback with the first round pick, or either first round pick? We currently have 5 and 12. I mean, at this point in the season, we could have the Lions could pick lower or higher than the Rams. Well, lower, because lower is going up in this case. So if the Detroit Lions wind up picking between 10 and 15, do you want a quarterback with either pick? Or is it for you, is it Bryce Young or bust, because I've been hearing that a lot over the past 2 weeks. Bryce Young or bust. So Zay says yes. I'm assuming, Zay, it's to my latter question. You're saying trade up. Trade up. Okay. So what are we giving up? Let's do this, since this segment was more about golf, but I like where this is going. Matthew Stafford is out this game. Didn't I tell you yesterday? I told you that yesterday. I said that yesterday. There's no way, and I shouldn't have read that, but I knew it. We talked about it yesterday, D. All right. Now, this is getting juicy, and this is why I like this dialogue. I like these shows, all right? So you mean to tell our defense is ranked 32 right now? That's right, and he has to be out. I think they have to make a decision today. And I love this. I love the diversity of Lions fans and the way that we think, right? Because I'm partial to defense. I think Jared Goff is a very serviceable quarterback. However, he's only on the books for 2 more years. He'll be 30 by the time his contract is up. But our defense is ranked 32, and I think he's serviceable. And I told you guys the other day, I think 2018 Jared Goff is in there somewhere. I think 2018 Jared Goff is somewhere in there hiding. Maybe his soon-to-be wife can bring it out. Maybe being comfortable, maybe being confident can bring it out. But I believe 2018 Jared Goff is still in there. Because guess what? Somebody brought up his name today. Oh, buddy. Guess who coming out at the for the LA Rams? Detroit Lions Matthew Stafford. And watch how fast them Rams fans throw that dude in the trash. Watch how fast they have already thrown, to some extent, Matthew Stafford in the trash. What's wrong with Matthew Stafford? What's wrong with Stafford? It's already happening. They got exactly what they wanted. The man brought them a Super Bowl, and they ready to throw him in the trash. Sounds very familiar to me. So, we pick 15. Zay says trade up. What are we giving up to trade up? We pick, let's say the Lions pick 14th. Let's say the Rams go on a tear. They win one playoff game, right? They're picking somewhere in the early 20s, right? Because it's 12 teams that make the playoffs. I'm sorry, 14. What are you doing? Are you rocking with Goff for 2 more years? Are you taking any first-round quarterback? Are you trading up to get the quarterback that you want? And if so, what are you giving up? And question number 4 is, are you willing to take a quarterback in a different round? Excuse me. Mo says, I would rather have Bryce for the next 20 years than have Goff for the next 2 years with no QB future. Hey Me Now McKenzie says, with those first 2 picks should be defense and a QB in the second. Jalen Hurts was a second-round pick. D-Reese says 2018 Goff is in the past, Derek. He's been declining before the Rams traded him. He is what he is. He's showing you that every week. Like I said, D-Reese, I believe that 2018 Jared Goff is still there. 100%. We got the pick 6 king that just won a Super Bowl. I believe he's in there somewhere. Still makes great throws. Not 2 more years of Goff. No, God, please no. Well, he's on the books for 2 more years, 3 on 3. But I will say this. Jared Goff, he got us right where he won't, don't he? If you can't stand Jared Goff, but y'all not answering the question, though. Y'all didn't answer. McKenzie kind of did. McKenzie said, so McKenzie is skipping Bryce Young. Correct me if I'm wrong, McKenzie. He said the first 2 picks should be defense and the QB in the second. That means no Bryce Young. Is it Bryce Young or bust for you in this chat? 2000 golf already popped up earlier this year. Von D, he sure did. And then he turned into 2020 golf. So he's still there. I just think a mobile QB elevates this offense so much more than golf. Golf is boring to watch. Zay, that's facts, bro. That's facts. You mean a mobile QB like Marcus Mariota? Is that what you talking about, bro? That's what you talking about?
Got him!
You talking about that, bro? You talking about a dude throwing off his cheeks? Did anybody else see that throw yesterday? What are we doing? What are we doing? So you're the GM. What are you doing? This segment is already 10 minutes, so I need an answer. Since the chat is slow and they're not going to give it to me, leave it in the comment section below. What are you doing? Lions pick at 15. Are you using any pick? If the Lions and Rams are picking out of the top 10, how are you getting the quarterback that you want if you're going to take a one in the first round? Man, oh man, you guys are a mess. 100% mess. Well, I'm going to tell you what. Listen, I'm going to tell you what. And this is facts. Y'all have to make a decision, okay? Y'all have to make a decision because it's real. And I think this is a true test of fans. And I think we're all fans. I really do. But sometimes I question us. I question our logic. If the Detroit Lions keep winning, if you want them to win, you are going to lose out on Bryce Young. Me personally, I have seen worse quarterbacks than Jared Goff be successful. I have seen that. Because, and I'll just say this. What would you prefer? And this is a question that y'all need to answer. What would you prefer? Would you prefer to forget them picks like the LA Rams and bring the Detroit Lions their first Super Bowl? Or would you rather draft Bryce Young this year? We don't win until 2034. He leaves and goes somewhere. Y'all see where I'm going at. This is not about golf more than it is about winning. What would you prefer? I mean, we just saw our old quarterback who everybody threw in the trash literally win a Super Bowl with the team built around him. And Ndamukong Suh said the day of the game that he hopes the team builds around Aiden Hutchinson. And we are talking about a quarterback. That right there just completely blows my mind. We have seen worse quarterbacks than Jared Goff win Super Bowls. We have seen worse quarterbacks. Everybody hated Matthew Stafford. When I say everybody, I'm using that term very, very liberal. Goff is your quarterback right now, so you have to make a choice. Do you want the Lions to lose? And if they lose, I don't want to hear nobody's mouth. I want you to sit, you get your little squeeze toy, and you pop a bottle when they lose. And every time they lose next year, every single loss that the Lions accumulate between now and with the quarterback of your dreams, you pop a bottle. Period. You pop a bottle. We need a QB on a rookie deal. I can see that logic. But so Zay looking at the money aspect. He looking at the money. But okay, can we all agree that it's not Goff's fault that he's getting paid $30 million? It's not Goff's fault that the Lions picked him up and he's getting paid $30 million? But I tell you what, y'all don't know what Brad Holmes is going to do. You have no clue what this man is going to do. Listen, y'all don't cover this team every day. You don't talk about this team every single day. Do you know what we heard? Do you know what we heard between the end of the season? Oh, my God, Malik Willis at 2. Oh, my God, Desmond Ridder at 2. Oh, my God, Matt Corral. Will the Lions take a quarterback? And they said, I'm not taking nobody over 7 rounds, did not take a single quarterback. And all of y'all look stupid. Everybody who said that looked stupid. Brad Holmes said, got him. He said, got him. I ain't taking a quarterback, period. I'm not even going to take one in free agency. While y'all speculate, knock yourself out. Now, do I think it's the same this year? I think the quarterback class is way better. It's way better. And I think if you pick in top, first overall pick, second overall pick, you got to talk about it. And I think if it's going to happen, it's going to happen this year. But I can guarantee you this. Those guys, Brad Holmes, Dan Campbell, they're not thinking about Bryce Young right now. The scouting department, they have a job. Their job is to scout, bring back reports. This team is trying to win games. So again, what would you prefer? If you vote, and this I will stand by this to the day I'm no longer on this earth. If you want your team to lose for a better draft pick, you can never again be mad when they do. Just period. You should celebrate when they lose. You can't pick and choose when you want your team to lose games. That's not what being a fan is about. That's not being what a winner is about. If we would have won in 2011, we would have hosted the New York Giants. I was rooting for a win so we could host them. Instead, we lose, we go on the road and get drubbed by the New Orleans Saints. When has losing ever amounted to anything? If you want your team to lose, you gotta be, it's period. This year, next year, the year after that. You should never be mad again when they lose, whether they get Bryce Young or not. This is what I would love to see. I would love to see Jared Goff win. 100%. 100% I would love to see this man win. I don't know him at all, but I know that nobody likes him. I would love to see him win. I would have loved to see Matthew Stafford win as long as he was in Detroit. I hated everything about it in LA. Everything about it. Everything about it. I hated it. I was at this is before me and my son went to the game in August. And I'm in the Fanatic U buying a shirt. We're talking about what the Lions are going to do and blah, blah, blah. It's before the season started, apparently, right? And I asked him, I said, hey, man, because we brought up Stafford came up. And I said, hey, man, were you selling the Detroit Rams? He was like, oh, yeah. And I had to pause, man. Because all of a sudden, this, disdain came over my face. And I was like, yeah, I understand it's a business, but, bro, you know what I would have done if I was running that business? I would have bought a batch of them. I would have videotaped myself lighting them on fire. I would have bought all that was in my budget that I could afford to lose. I would have bought these shirts. I would have poured nothing, of course, controlled environment, so the fire department don't roll down on me or I get no ticket. Put them, and I record every last one in flames. D. Reese says Lions ain't even winning a wild card playoff game with Goff. Well, he our quarterback right now, and I know I want to win games. And at the end of the day, y'all, we keep coming back to the same old. I know you want to win just like I want to win. Goff do all that the Lions fans going to drop to their knees. Young can be like Zach Wilson. Nobody on 2020 was supposed to in that class in 2020. No, I disagree. The 2020 class we knew it was going to be some studs in that team. We knew it was going to be some decent. And you know what I love? This is what I love. Justin Fields. We'll wrap up the show, man. I'm confused by y'all. I'm confused by the logic that we have, right? And I would love to understand what makes you think this way, right? If we look at the 2020 class, Trevor Lawrence led the league along with Matthew Stafford in picks and I want to say pick sixes in 2020. So he's on his third year, right? No, Trevor Lawrence is on the second. So he led the league his rookie year. Zach Wilson didn't do anything. Trey Lance was in the background. a 15th overall pick in Mac Jones. Who? Mac Jones takes his team to the playoffs. I'm trying to understand what makes you think our Detroit Lions are going to do any better than the Jacksonville Jaguars, the New York Jets, the San Francisco 49ers, who were 1 year removed from a Super Bowl. We haven't won a playoff game since Batman the Animated Series was about to come on. And y'all think that Bryce Young, if he's exciting to watch, I get that. I can vibe with that. I've heard that a ton. A lot of Lions fans are tired of pocket QBs. I don't care. I don't care. As long as they win games. I don't care if he's standing there like a statue. If he's standing there like a statue and he throw bullets, accurate passes, he'd be the weirdest thing ever winning games. Remember Byron Leftwich and his ugly throwing motion? Y'all remember that? The worst throwing motion I think I've ever seen. The modern NFL, a lot of teams succeeding, their QBs are rookie deals. Never heard of a building. Listen. So, they had a graphic last night that I wish I saw. They had a graphic of QBs taken in the first round since a certain date. There are only 4 teams that were taken, 4 quarterbacks that were taken in the first round prior to 2019 that are still with their original teams. Aaron Rodgers was one of those teams, was one of those quarterbacks. Aaron Rodgers, it was Patrick Mahomes and 2 other guys. So, listen, we got plenty of time to talk about that, and we will, believe it. We're going to talk about it on this channel. We're going to talk about it on the other channel, but right now we've got to move on. We got to move on, and it's something that I wanted to talk to y'all about. And that is, what is going on with Thursday Night Football? Thursday Night Football all of a sudden took a dive when it went to Amazon Prime, and it seems like it is the worst I have ever seen. The worst I have ever seen. The worst game that I have watched this year showed up. The Denver Broncos against the Indianapolis Colts. There was not a single touchdown scored in this game. What is going on with Thursday Night Football? Can the NFL fix Thursday Night Football? Because it is the worst watch of the week. The absolute worst watch of the week. The commentators are boring. The games are boring. And I'm not talking about I'm talking about super boring. Nick says it's not even entertainingly bad, like comically bad. That's where you get, where you're looking at this game and I'm watching last night. And the crowd is, I mean, and then you pick up Al Michaels. He's got a historic career. But the dude is 70-something years old. It's time to let him go. Bring some new blood in there. And then you got, and then I realized that Kurt, the color commentator, this guy must hate the NFL. Because if you see him commentating college, he was just doing that Alabama-Tennessee game, and he was lit. He sounded like me watching a Detroit Lions game. But nope, he's on like super subdued, and he's doing this, and blah, 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 will put you to sleep. You got a guy that's 70-something years old, and a guy that acts like he's 70, and you want to go to sleep. Dude, Thursday Night Football, terrible more than ever this year, feels like. Joshua says, I don't watch Thursday games. I watch Lions, then Red Zone for the rest of the day. Yeesh. And that's what has become of Thursday Night Football. Now check this out. This deal with Amazon is 10 years. A 10-year deal. And in addition to that, they will have, beginning in 2023, a Black Friday game. I don't know. I think NBC has the game coming up on Thanksgiving, the late game, which used to be on NFL Network. If we could go back in time, I would say, Roger, don't make this deal. This thing is is terrible. It's terrible. You better believe the NFL is suffering, and you better believe there's some type of game plan to spruce up Thursday night. My opinion is this. I don't think that these two guys will be back. Now, there were some rumors that one Mr. Pat McAfee initially was going to get involved with Thursday Night Football. And I don't know if his ego will let them contain him, but they're going to have to try something new. It's so bad, okay, that Dude Perfect and other creators are also reacting to the games. Thursday Night Football is a zombie. So the Black Friday game is half off. I wish you would have told me you was going to do that so I could have had this queued up. That is funny. Nick says it's only for 10 years. Nick, when this is over, I will be 53 years old, bro. 53 years old. This is year one of the deal. And Thursday Night Football is sick, and the NFL needs to fix it. It's how fitting that the year that the NFL debuts on Amazon, because we knew this was coming for the last 2 years. We knew that last year was the last year on NFL Network. How fitting that in a year of parity, Thursday Night Football debuts on NFL Prime, and it is absolute terrible. Joshua says, Manning cast save Monday Night Football. Well, I liked Steve Levy and those guys, Louis Riddick and Brian Greasy. I thought they had a good chemistry. I thought they did pretty well. And I liked the third person in the booth. I think it spruced it up because it's like Joe Book, Troy Aikman, Joe Book, Troy Aikman. It's Mike Tirico, Collingsworth, sounded like this. It's, Al Michaels, Kurt. That's how it is. I liked it. I'm watching YouTube while watching Thursday Night Football. It's that boring. Oh, man. So let me know. Is the NFL in trouble with this Thursday Night Football schedule? Because something has got to give. But all right, y'all, listen, it's been a fantastic show. Y'all got a special Friday bonus edition because of the lack of a show on Monday. And this Monday, we'll be back to our regular schedule. We've got Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Thank you guys for supporting the channel. Yesterday, I hit 300 subscribers. I am on my way, man, but it's not just me. It is the brand in general. We have, I know this doesn't concern you guys, but I just want to let you know, we have a Miami Dolphins Syndicate that will be starting in a week. It starts next Monday, so not 3 days from now, but the 21st of the month. And that will put the Syndicate brand at 6 or 7 teams. So we are almost a quarter of the way through the NFL teams. And that is exciting. It's been a crazy 2022. And, man, I'm just getting started. Next year, I'm going to build a little part in my basement and do this thing. There's a show that I want you guys to check out. These 3 young men, they could let up on the cussing a little bit, but it's called Pick a Side. And they run it. They have a Pick a Side. It's called Pick a Side. They run a podcast. They talk about the whole NFL. You'll see us come up sometimes. I love what they're doing. I absolutely love it. And it's something that I wanted to do for a long time. That's actually why I got in this space. So y'all have a fantastic weekend. Hopefully Monday we are having a victory. The Lions hopefully improve to 3-6 because winning feels so much better than losing. You guys be safe, and I will see you. Don't forget about the Lions postgame show on Detroit Lions Syndicate about 45 minutes after the game. We will be on, hopefully, talking about a win. And then next week, it'll be another good week, but we shall see. We shall see. 48 hours, gentlemen. I will see you